This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, Alex Smith on his third NFL team, the Washington Redskins, face off with Blake Bortles and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Bortles now on first down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, here's Bortles. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball is thrown. Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They go play action here on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Cole. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah. It's Alex Smith.
And despite another terrific season from Alex Smith in Kansas City, Kansas City knew from the moment Patrick Mahomes was drafted, this day was going to come sooner rather than later. Now he goes to Washington and replaces Kirk Cousins. Two different quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins a little more of the freewheeling sort. Alex Smith more deliberate, more controlled, but can still throw that dagger pass downfield.
Adrian Peterson, the 40, the 20, 10, touchdown, Washington. Adrian Peterson, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Redskins are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Hopkins with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Bortles on the bootleg. Fighting to stay upright. Oh, he stays up. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And for this offensive unit that we'll see here in just a second, T.J. Yeldon is certainly someone to mention.
Came out of Alabama with a lot of attention, but earned it. This guy is better and better at a lighter weight. Shifty back who can finish with power.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Bortles. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that a highlight film, that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Marshall now, the return.
In these last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a former Seminole. This is Chris Thompson. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
You can script and diagram plays all you want, but no one really envisioned something like that happening this early in the game. How about that run to get things started? Didn't he win NFC Player of the Week last week?
Yeah, he was on fire a week ago, and what a start to this one.
Yeah, no sign of him cooling down at all.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They run again on first down. Peterson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
On 2nd down, Peterson, and he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
I want to highlight Telvin Smith, only the 3rd linebacker in Jacksonville Jaguar history to make a Pro Bowl, but not for that reason. When he came out of Florida State with his build, many were projecting him as a safety in the NFL, around 215 pounds. He's gotten a little bit bigger, but his ability to run and hit and make plays has made him one of the most valuable linebackers in the NFL. They made the right choice leaving him at that spot.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Dante Fowler in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Jadon Mickens. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On first down, Bortles. And he is going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Bortles. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. This is taken around the 12. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. If that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. And now a look at the Washington defense.
At corner is Josh Norman. I would think he would want to quibble a little bit. Actually, you know, Josh would have a full discussion with the metrics people who say that maybe he's not the elite lockdown corner he thinks he is. He would say, ask all the receivers in the NFC East. They would think differently because a day against Josh Norman is a very difficult day for any receiver.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the 1st quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come out of the gate this strongly, how'd you like to be in the huddle with him right now? You know he's demanding the football.
Give me the ball.
And guess what? I throw it to him. He's having a fantastic game, and they haven't defended him yet.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Zach Brown in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Bortles. Safarian Jenkins has it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And some room to roam now. Past the 20. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our player spotlight. And I don't know what more they need to see of him than what we're going to see in this player montage. He's been great. Why aren't they winning this game, I guess, is the question.
It is a good question, isn't it? Remember the time we spent with them in practice beforehand and had that little twinkle in his eye where he thought, hey, we can get some bombs in this game. We can get deep, and that's exactly what's going on. But I don't think he thought if they could do that they'd be on the losing end.
They might need more of this air raid attack. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 right at the 30. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon, and he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Now Bortles. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Bortles to Cole for the Jacksonville first. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Tackle made there by Mason Foster. At the end of one, 16-14. More from Jacksonville after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Green 80. Green 80.
Fournette on the counter. And now running right through it. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Jaguars on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 80.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
That drive took him inside to 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Throwing is Smith. They'll roll him out right. And some room to maneuver. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They'll try the air now with Smith. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes his quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. All right, Austin Seferian-Jenkins trotting back onto the field with the rest of his offense. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, And look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Bortles to throw on second down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on...
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Zach Brown in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make it.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded at the 20.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is, finding a way.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
So they lost yardage, and they declined the penalty. There's no logical reasoning to do that.
I'm trying to go through this little Rolodex in this small brain of mine, and I'm coming up with nothing, partner. I've got zip on that one. Take the yardage, right? Take the penalty. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Yes, sir. Leonard Fournette has a well-deserved reputation as a physical, powerful runner. He's going to drop his shoulder and run over people time and time again. I think he uses it to his advantage, though. How about that last run? Set him up. Looked like he's going to drop the hammer, but gave a little wiggle, a little shake. And what did he do, partner?
Left the defender right there in his wake. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Green 80. Green 80. Green 86.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll bring him back within a point. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Marshall now, the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Smith on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice little juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On first down, Smith. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Now it's Smith. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
Green 80. Green 80.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Looking outside him, he's got a man. That's Cole. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Bortles now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down.
Green 80.
To throw is Bortles. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on first. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down. Again, it's Bortles. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So they get the field goal here at the end of the second quarter and take the lead into the lockers.
And isn't that what every team wants to do? Right at the end of the half, put points on the board and go into the locker room feeling a lot better about themselves.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Marshall now, the return. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up in the Meadowlands. The G-Men hosting Tennessee at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Giants who are out in front. Eli Manning has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we stay in the Empire State. We head up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Golden Tate, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you've been watching, it was Blake Bortles with a strong first half throwing the football. He's thrown for nearly 300 yards already as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Marshall now, the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Alex Smith and the offense heading out for their next possession. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half two after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
A gain of 3, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
This one complete to Jordan Reed. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Look at the spin. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 50, it's Smith. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Smith, throwing again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Dante Fowler, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Back to throw, Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Redskins on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Smith. He's going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, how about this, the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zach Brown in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Hall bringing it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 24 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cole. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be fourth and short.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this third quarter. Another drive bogs down, but for the fourth time, they're able to escape with 3 points.
And this last one gives them the lead, so that's a good thing. And they've needed every one of these field goals, but it has to feel good to them to know that confidence is there. If we do bog down, they'll give us 3 points.
The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up. Because
Josh Dotson. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there, Smith to Dotson, and even 50 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
Down to the 25. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on second down is Smith. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, here's Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's his third field goal now in the ball game, and they've needed his leg. This last one gives him the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, hasn't it? Now you got to tell your defense, guys, need you to make this stand up because we got the momentum going in the right direction, but we need you to make sure we carry it home.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A good pickup there, 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Bortles now on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Paul. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Bortles. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the fourth. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Bortles. Over the middle, complete. That's Paul. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. On second down, here's Smith. Caught right side, Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Smith. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bathema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
They'll run with Thompson. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They go play action here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. They give it to Peterson. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. Touchdown, Washington. Adrian Peterson, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Redskins have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a 1st down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the 1st down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. Hopkins with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run by Adrian Peterson. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Bortles now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Green 80.
On play action, now Bortles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Out of the backfield, it's T.J. Yeldon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Hey, back up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, good move. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run again with Peterson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The Redskins on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Smith. Open man, it's Vernon Davis. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Smith keeps it on the sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And they will take a knee here.
Let's go. 15. Hey. Four down.
The Redskins, they can smell victory now. They take a knee. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Down to a knee. Here goes Smith, and that should all but do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Redskins, they're not going to go quietly here as the win moves them now to 8-6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to regroup